Welcome back to The Phantom. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome our next guest. He's a local guy that just happens to be a legendary Olympic gold medal winner. But I bet you didn't know that USA hockey hero Mike Eruzione is also a bit obsessed with food. He's an Olympic hero who scored the biggest goal in hockey history. It's known as the Miracle on Ice, when Mike Eruzione captained the 1980 U.S. Olympic team to a stunning victory over the Soviets at the height of the Cold War.
To win a gold medal, to win it in Lake Placid at a very difficult time in our country is a pretty special thing to be a part of.
Mike was born and raised in Winthrop, Massachusetts, and he still lives there today, where the town's ice rink bears his name. And all of the local restaurants have a seat for him, because when it comes to food, Mike's only goal is to make sure it's great.
I love lobster. Lobster's one of my favorite meals. I like a nice dish of pasta. I like spaghetti and meatballs. I like swordfish. I like Chinese food, love pizza. I'm pretty easy.
Whether it's a lobster roll right down the road at Belle Isle, a juicy steak at Del Frisco's in the Seaport, Chinese food at Billy C and Revere, or Italian in the North End at places like Preza and Paliucas, Mike Eruzione always believes in great food. And joining us here at the VIP table is the man behind the miracle, Mike Eruzione. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, listen, your goal against the Russians, the Soviets, it's known as one of the great sports highlights of all time. So my question to you is this, since this is a food show. Have you ever had a food or a restaurant experience that compared to that moment?
I've gone to a lot of nice restaurants.
Yeah.
I do have a great story. I was in Torino, Italy for the Winter Olympic Games, and I went to this Italian restaurant, and I was with Dan Jansen, the speed skater, and we're sitting there and looking at the menu and what we wanted. I wanted to get a nice steak with some pasta and stuff, and all of a sudden, I ordered a steak, and Dan ordered a steak, and they brought out a brick out of the oven. They put this brick in front of you, and then they gave you the steak. It was raw, and then you cut the steak, and you put it on the brick, and you turned it whichever way, whatever degrees, whatever you wanted.
You're cooking it on the brick?
Cooking it on the brick.
Yeah.
And then I took it off there, and it's the best steak I've ever had in my life.
At some little restaurant in Torino?
A little restaurant in Torino. And I said to my wife, I had just bought a $4,800 barbecue grill, and I should have just bought a brick. And I could have put that in the oven.
Yeah.
They had spices on it.
Right.
It was spectacular.
That is known as the Miracle on Brick.
Miracle on Brick. And I had to go to Italy to get it.
Who would have known? Now, a lot closer. Now, your hometown is Winthrop. You're a Winthrop guy. You still live and you eat at a lot of the good restaurants in Winthrop.
Great restaurants in Winthrop.
One of your favorites is a new place, relatively new, called Paisans. Now, explain to me why you like this joint.
Well, one, it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's down the street from where I live.
Perfect.
But it has, 5 or 6 flat screen TVs, so you can watch the Bruins game or Celtics game or the Patriots game and sit there. The food is good. The owner's a very good friend of mine. A lot of times he'll cook off the menu for me. I'll come in and say, look, I'm coming in. What are you going to make? I want a swordfish, or I want a veal chop or a pork chop. And he's very, very good at doing that. But, my family goes there a lot, and I like the food. But as you said, there are a lot of great places in Winthrop, but that's kind of where I hang my hat.
All right, so there's a place. You can always see you at Paisans.
See me at Paisans.
Now, I've actually seen you around town several times at one of my favorite hangouts, which is said Tarpio's Pizza. No, not in Winthrop, pretty close, though, East Boston. I mean, Tarps is like legendary.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there. My dad's 92 years old. He was a waiter there for 40-something years.
Wow.
My dad shined shoes in front of Santarpio's. As a kid, he would take me there on a Saturday, and I would sweep under the table, and whatever little coins that was left over, I could get and keep. So I've been going there a long, long time, and it's the best pizza you'll get in Boston. I go there frequently. I get my white garlic pizza with maybe a double lamb on the side.
That's
or maybe
what I get. I get the white pizza at Santarpio's.
White pizza, but like I said, I grew up in Santarpio's, as most of my family members have.
Wow. Now, obviously, you love to have a nice steak in Torino, Italy, on a brick. But if you're in Boston, and athletes love going out for steak, we obviously know this. Yeah. You like a lot of these places. I know you like Del Frisco's, but you really like Morton's as well. Now, why do you like Morton's?
Yeah. Well, Morton's in the Seaport is a place I go to quite a bit. Again, it's convenient living in Winthrop. You shoot through the TED, and it's right there. But even when I travel around the country, if I'm looking for a steak and want to sit at the bar and have something to eat, I'll go to Morton's. Yeah. Just a great quality steak. The service is great. The people that I know, even around the country, I call. I'm looking for a table, and usually get reservations fairly quickly. But again, it's always a good place to eat.
Yeah, and they always have that nice warm chocolate cake for dessert too, which I always love at Morton's. Now, another very big hot spot on the Seaport, if you're looking for Italian food, Strega on the waterfront is still, I mean, it's been open for a couple of years, and it's still like the hottest restaurant there is in Boston. What do you like about that spot?
Well, I think, you know, I enjoy going there again. It's convenient, and Big Nicky takes care of me whenever I go there.
Big Nicky, of course, Nick Verano, the man.
Yes, and again, the food is excellent. And there's a lot of great restaurants in Boston that I go to quite a bit, a lot of Italian restaurants in Boston. But, you know, with Strega, and then Prezer's another one I go to quite a bit.
Prezer's another great spot,
But Strega's is great when I come into town. I've had, you know, some of my ex-athletes when they're in town visiting. We go to dinner. Mario Lemieux was in town not long ago, so Mario and I went and had a great meal there with his daughters. So again, the food is good. I like to get the specials there a lot of times.
Sure.
You can always order off the menu, but I'm a special kind of guy most of the time when I go there.
You're definitely a special guy, Mike Eruzione, a man. He beat the Soviets, and he also can help you beat your hunger right here at the VIP table.